Hey everybody, so today I wanted to do a little impromptu video. As you can see, I'm a little bit of a mess, but this was inspired by a comment that I get a lot, and it's that I make pumping look really easy. And I kind of discussed this in one of my previous days in the lives that I feel like maybe I don't share my struggles with you guys as much, but I wanted to showcase this right now. I don't know if this is going to turn into a day in the life or not, but we shall see. I guess I'm just going to give you a little bit of a backstory and catch you guys up. But basically, I woke up at my normal time today, 7 a.m. I did my morning pump. I finished around 8 o'clock, and after I got done, I just worked on BBB stuff. And if you don't know what BBB is, that's the Facebook support group that I help admin. So I just did some of the admin stuff, and it was around 8:30 the kids woke up. Last weekend was daylight saving, so they had been waking up at 9 o'clock. This morning was 8:30, so I think by the end of the weekend we will be back to an 8 o'clock wake up time for both the kids, because that's typically when they wake up. So that was a little unusual, but I took advantage of that time, like I said, and I got some stuff done. And once they got up and I got them breakfast and I got them settled, and you know, they were done with breakfast and whatever, there was just some stuff that needed to be done. Laundry mainly. I have sucked at laundry for the past week. We are all like on our last outfits and like last pair of pajamas and everything, so really need to work on laundry today. So after I got finished with that, I went to the bathroom and I noticed that I was having a ton of dry scalp, which is just something I intermittently deal with. And I did one of my coconut oil treatments. So after I get the coconut oil on my head, I walk out to the living room and I noticed this wet spot beside her on the couch. And I just thought it was her tipping over her sippy cup and it leaking. So I pushed her like farther back on the couch because she was kind of sitting on the edge. Didn't want Remy to get the snack she was eating. So I pushed her back and put her sippy cup back there with her. I came out here to do my bottles finally. So after I got done with bottles, I went to the bathroom to get the dry skin off my scalp, and I just use a little toothbrush for that and do it really gently, but it takes like maybe a few minutes tops. Then I went out to the living room to just kind of hang with them, and she asked me to get down, so I helped Sophie off the couch, and that's when I noticed a wet spot. And as I was walking away to go get something from the kitchen to kind of soak it up, because I figured it was just her sippy cup again, I started to smell poop. And I was in this kitchen for maybe a minute just looking at the couch, knowing I had to go smell that couch cushion, but I really didn't want to. And I mustered up the courage and I went and smelled it, and of course it was poop. Yep, it was poop juice. So now the couch cushion needs to be steam cleaned, which I have to do myself. It's 12:30 now, almost 1. Remy needs a nap. Sophie needs a lunch. I need to pump desperately. I have not pumped since 8 o'clock, which is ridiculous. We're going on 5 hours. And I hate when this kind of like crap storm happens all at the same time where everybody needs something. And I would just feel 1,000 times better if I could just sit down and pump. Like, these are the times where I wish somebody else was at home with me, or I had like a clone or an extra set of hands or something. Because Sophie asked for chicken nuggets, so I'm out here in the kitchen waiting for her chicken nuggets to get done, and Remy can't take a nap until I pump because she needs milk. It's just a trifecta. Ugh, it's so frustrating. So I'm gonna pull these chicken nuggets out of the oven. Hopefully they're not cold anymore. I'm gonna go get her a couple other things. I'm gonna sit her down with lunch. I'm gonna put Remy in her activity center, but I'm gonna do that really quickly. I'm gonna get off here and I'll check back in with you guys. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to turn into a day in the life or whatever, but we shall see, and I will check in with you guys. I am sorry, you're going to have to deal with this. I typically, if I get a chance, I'll wash my hair during nap time, but nap time now needs to be reserved for steam cleaning all the couch cushions. So you guys are going to have to look at this hot mess, also including my face, for the rest of the video. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you here in a little bit. Okay, so I got Sophie her lunch. I just have her sitting down at her table. Please just eat the chicken nuggets. I also have Remy in her activity center. I have some puffs and toys on there for her. And I'm about to play some Sesame Street. And I only grabbed one bottle for me to pump into because I think I'm just going to pump my left boob and then hurry up, give that to Remy, lay her down so she can go to sleep, and then finish pumping while Sophie's finishing up lunch and while Remy is starting to take a nap. For those of you who may be new, I single pump anyways, just because it empties me better with my large oversupply, but yeah. There's something else I was like. Sophie's pretty well behaved during lunchtime. She's, you know, takes direction pretty easily, so very rarely do I have to get up or stop pumping or something because she's doing something she shouldn't while she's eating. Kid refuses to eat meat, like will not. She will eat chicken nuggets, but you have to give her honey mustard with it, which I'm not thrilled about, but if it gets her to eat the chicken nuggets, then whatever. But she'll sit there and she will put her fingers in the honey mustard and just eat it itself. So gross. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pump. I'll probably just do some stuff on my phone that need to be done anyways while Sophie is eating and Remy is watching Sesame Street. Oh, this day has like gotten away from me. I'm kind of glad it's going fast because Mark's also working 10s today. So instead of getting off at work at 2:30, he will not get off work until 4:30. So he won't be home until like 5 o'clock. But it's been rough. Alright, well I'm going to get off here and I will check in with you guys when I get all that situated. So I think I have a clog in my boob. I think I'm getting it out. I don't know. I do not really pay attention to my bottles at all unless I'm trying to gauge on whether or not I'm empty. You know, if I don't have any milk coming out, then I will just obviously set the pump down and then I will make sure and feel that I'm empty. But still getting like random sporadic bursts of a letdown. So I think I had a clog, but I sat my phone down real quick and I massaged it. But as soon as this letdown ends, I will go ahead and make Remy a bottle. I'm going to lay her down. I think I might even lay Sophie down. It's a little early. She normally takes naps around 2 o'clock. But she only takes like hour naps anymore. So I think it'll be fine. And I think I'm done. Am I done? And I don't really pay attention to my bottles, but right when I'm trying to decide if I can stop pumping, I normally look down to make sure that I'm not obviously letting any more milk into the bottle. And if that's not happening, then I just set the pump aside like this. And I try to gauge if I'm empty or not. So I'm going to go ahead and make that bottle. If I do have a clog, if I'm not empty, I'm just going to have to come back and I'm going to have to finish along with my right boob here whenever I get finished putting these kids down. So I'll check in with you. I'll check in with you guys when I get finished doing that. Okay, so now I'm back. That only took like 10 minutes, which wasn't too bad. I think it's just because both the girls were ready to lay down. Although now I hear Sophie thudding around in her bedroom, so she might not go down for a nap for like another half hour. I mean, sometimes she doesn't take a nap. She'll just sit in there and read her books or play with the few things she has in there. But as long as she stays quiet, I allow her to stay in her bedroom and have that quiet time to just kind of independently play by herself. But I got some more pump bottles. I also got myself a glass of water, and I'm probably gonna watch Shameless after I get done talking to you guys. I feel like I'm running thin on shows available to watch on Netflix and Hulu and stuff. We do have HBO also, which is pretty nice. We have that HBO Now on our Xbox One, and I highly recommend it, especially if you're like a parent of a young child. It has all the new Sesame Street episodes because they now air on HBO. So that's what we originally got it for, but then we got hooked on Game of Thrones and can't wait for that to come out this summer. Shameless is okay. It's not like the best series I've ever watched, but it's not the worst either. So I don't know. It's just something different for me to watch instead of reruns of The Office, which I've seen like 17 times through. But I'm just pumping my left boob really quickly. I gave it like a good massage right before I started this video just to make sure that there wasn't a clog or anything. But I do feel like I'm pretty empty. I got just like the tiniest bit, but doesn't hurt to check. I also get a lot of questions on, you know, what to do if, you know, baby's crying or baby needs something. Hold on, I'm gonna switch boobs real quick. So I'm all switched over, but what I was saying is the question I get asked a lot is how to deal with your kids needing something and the fact that you're pumping and, you know, just situations like that. And my answer is just make sure you come back to whatever you're doing. I mean, it's inevitable. The kids are always going to need stuff, and obviously they're not going to stop needing stuff just because you're pumping. No matter if that had taken me 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, like whatever, I would have came back and I would have made sure to empty. And the best you can do is that, and then just try to empty on your typical schedule, whatever it may be, for the rest of the day. If you're super worried about it and you've had like multiple days like that in a row, you could try power pumping, but honestly, one crappy day of, you know, not getting to pump isn't going to make all the difference in the world. So unless you're constantly doing it or something, you know, I really wouldn't be too stressed out about it. But that's just kind of my motto, is I go do the things that need to be done, change diapers, get somebody food, get a snack, get a bottle, lay somebody down for a nap, you know, whatever it may be. I'll go do those things and I'll just come back to pumping. So that's the best you can do. I think I'll check back in with you guys when I get done pumping and let you know how everything went. Okay, so I just got finished pumping and it's now like a little before 2:30. I'm going to clean the couch cushions and probably pick up the living room and switch over a load of laundry and all that fun stuff. So I will check back in with you guys when I get to pump next. If I get to pump next. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that it's almost 2:30 and it's only my second pump of the day. That really irritates me, but I mean, it is what it is. And when I start to feel like upset with how the day's gone with my pumping schedule, I just try to keep in mind that there's nothing I can do to like rewind everything. Obviously you can't go back in time, you can't, you know, change things. So it is what it is, and you can only do better from here on out. So I'm going to try to do better, hopefully. And I didn't have anything too exciting planned for tonight. I was hoping I'd get to edit, which I think I still might be able to do. But now tonight I'll have to do like another hair washing night. I only really wash my hair like once a week. Kind of upset because I just washed my hair last night in the shower, and I don't really like washing it this often, but as you can see, there's still like little specks of dry skin and stuff. So it was gross and it needed done, and I didn't even think about doing it yesterday before I got in the shower. So I'll have to do that tonight on top of everything. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do those things, and I will check back in with you when I pump next. So it is now 6 o'clock. I'm about like a half hour behind of when I should have started pumping, but Mark got home with dinner and we got the girls situated and everything, so that took up a little bit of time. But I'm pumping now, and that's kind of all you can do. I mean, even if your next pump is off schedule too, you just got to do the best that you can. So I will check in with you guys whenever my pump session is over, so I can go ahead and eat this pizza while pumping. So now it is almost 7:30, and I totally forgot to check in with you guys, but I got done pumping at 6:30, and for some reason, even though I went just a smidge over that 3 hours, I made a lot more. Normally around ovulation, my supply fluctuates a little bit, so I think that might be what it's from, but it took me a little longer to empty, and I also did have a clog. But for the past hour, we've just been obviously hanging out with the kids, but I will check back in with you at 9:30. Hopefully I get to pump then. Okay, so it's now 9:30 and I'm pumping again, so right on time. This won't be my last pump of the day. I'll pump right before I go to bed. That's just something I like to do. There's not going to be much space in between those pumps, like this one and my last one of the day, but that doesn't really matter to me. I just like going to bed as empty as possible, so no matter when the last time I pumped was, I really like to just do it right before I'm trying to go to bed. So not a lot has happened since I last checked in. We just put the girls to bed and I obviously got a shower, so no more greasy hair, just wet hair you have to look at. I also like doing those pumps that aren't so far apart on days that I have, you know, kind of pushed my limits with my pumps, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of a way to word everything so it's not confusing, but I don't think I'm doing the best job. But also, what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't think that pumps per day is as important as how often you pump, if that makes sense. So, you know, saying you pump 5 times a day isn't as important as how often you pump, you know, because they're not the same thing. You could pump 5 times a day, but all those could be in the morning, and you could pump not at all in the evening for, you know, whatever reasons is hypothetical. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing the best with how often you're pumping. So that's another reason why I don't really have like a set schedule. I try to just go based off of when my last pump was, and I try to go from there. That's just what fits my lifestyle the best, I feel like. So yeah, today was pretty crappy. It was pretty hectic and crazy, and oh my gosh, that water heater keeps kicking on. Sorry if you can hear it, it's super loud. But I did scrub that cushion like I told you guys I was gonna do, and it dried relatively quickly, I feel like. But I did soak the thing, and it still smelled a little bit, so we had to kind of run it down again, so hopefully this time it doesn't smell anymore. But I think just for the sake of, you know, going with it, I'm going to check back in with you guys whenever I do my last pump of the day. So it's about 10:20 and I just got done pumping. I think I want to lay down sometime around 11 or 11:30 because I think I'm going to get up pretty early tomorrow morning and get some filming done. But I will check in with you guys whenever I am about to do my last pump of the day. So it's now 11 o'clock and I'm starting my last pump of the day. I didn't do much in between the pump sessions, obviously. Mark and I just watched a little bit of TV, switched over another load of laundry, and I ordered some of their Easter stuff and also a couple of Remy's birthday party supplies. But I will check in with you guys whenever I get finished with this pump session. Okay guys, so it's now 11:30. I just got finished pumping. That was my last pump of the day. I hope that this was kind of insightful for you guys. So like I said in the beginning of the video, you know, you're gonna have days that nothing seems to go right, that you've gone 5 hours without pumping, that you have so many things to get done and you don't know how you're gonna do them. And I find that when I feel frustrated in those situations and worried, especially about my pumping schedule, just kind of taking a breather and seeing what I can do in that moment that is going to help the process get started of figuring out the solution to all those problems. It's just kind of like the best way, and knowing that, you know, today might have been a crappy day for pumping, but you know, just don't make a habit of it. Just try to do better later in the day. Try to do better tomorrow, you know. Just keep trying to do better with it, because you're always going to have those days. It doesn't matter if it's your kids, your job, your spouse, whoever, like, there's always going to be something. There's always going to be something to interrupt your pumping schedule. So just worry about doing the best that you can and leave it at that, you know. I think breast milk is a wonderful and amazing thing, but it's not worth losing your sanity over. It's important to be strict with your schedule. It's important to try and achieve certain things, but at the same time, I feel like you should be not too hard on yourself. I just think with all the other things that we have to concern ourselves with as parents, to just be as gentle as you can when you're doing your best. You know, it might not be the best, it might not be somebody else's best, but it's your best and you're giving it your all, so that's what matters. So if you're watching this because you've had a crappy pump day, or just because you need to feel a little less alone in it because you've been there, trust me, sister, I'm there today, and the day is finally over. I finally get to go sleep, and tomorrow hopefully I do better, and that's all that I can hope for. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.